So we'll just get started. So first of all, welcome and thank you everyone for joining in. Those of you who are joining it for the first time, I'll just set the floor. So we have this kind of webinar every month. We typically try to keep it by end of the month so that people have more time to join in. The purpose of this monthly updates webinar is to talk about all the new changes, features, improvements that we have rolled out in a particular month. So today we'll be talking about all the new changes that we have rolled out in the month of September. We typically have bi-weekly releases. So like every other Friday, we're gonna be releasing the new features. So yeah, today we'll be going over all the changes or improvements that we have rolled out in the month of September. I'm gonna share my screen and then yeah, we can go one by one. Change that we have rolled out was with the files module. So let me talk about that. So in the files module, now you have an ability to share a specific file or folder with your client users. So the way it's going to work is that let's just say you have all of your client specific documents like bank statements or credit card statements or loan statements or any other similar documents. Now, what you wanted to do was that you wanted to make all these documents available to your client so that your client can easily find this, easily kind of, I mean, whenever they need it, they don't have to buzz you for any document. They can simply go in the portal and they can now download it themselves. So let's just say I wanted to set the bank statements. All I could say, hey, I wanted to uh, do a share. So what you do, just click on portal visibility. Now you decide which specific user you want to make it available, and you just select the particular user, click on share. Now those documents, those folders will then be shared with the client. Now on your client's end, this is what's going to look like. So whatever documents or files that you shared with your client gonna show up like this. Your clients can log in to your the client portal and can access any of these documents. Now, client will not be able to make a change as such. They can download it, preview it, but otherwise they cannot upload it anything. They cannot rename it any of these documents, right? So again, many of our customers have requested this where they wanted to share this kind of library of documents with their client users. So that's now possible. All right. So that's that. Now, the all other changes have been about the 1099 feature that we have rolled out. We have kind of been focusing around that at least. I mean, that was the plan. I mean, originally we kind of when we rolled out 1099, we knew that we will get a lot of feedback, and I mean because the 1099 season is coming, we want to make sure we kind of ready for that. So that's how we've been prioritizing. So all other changes or improvements that I'm going to talk about now are specific to the 1099 module. All right, so with the 1099, the first improvement or update that we have is you can now request W9 directly from your vendor, right? So let's just say this is there is this vendor named Bob's, and you wanted to request W9 directly from the vendor, you can now do that. So all you do, just simply click on vendor request. There is this email that will be sent to the vendor, and the text of this email you can customize it. So what's going to happen is that there's a when you go to settings, there's a template. We have also added a new email template for W9 request. So whatever email that you would like to send it to your vendor, meaning your client's vendor, you can put it here. Now, once you do that, this email template will then show up. So let me show you. Let me actually show you. So let's just say if I wanted to request this W9, the email template that I have set will now show up here. Now, in case if you still wanted to make any changes with and here with the text, you can also do that. While sending the email to the vendor, you have an option to also CC your client users as well. So that way, when vendor receives an email from you guys, and when your clients are CC'd, they kind of know that this email is legitimate, right? So that way, I mean, you guys have an option to also CC the client user. The only thing that you have to be careful while making changes to template or the email text is that the tags, right? So it says the practice name or upload the URL, because uh, when the email is sent, this actually is like, for example, this will be changed to your firm name. This will be changed to the client name. So you want to make sure you don't make any changes with this text, right? So yeah, that's how easy it is for you guys to send the vendor email, right? Now, on the vendor's end, let me actually show you what the email is going to look like. And then, so this is what the email will look like, where it says, "Hey, Bob, we are kind of X." So whatever text that you have said in the template, that's how the email will be sent. And when your vendor clicks on it, let's just click here. So, oh, the link. Yeah, actually, I'm using my dummy environment. So one second, real quick. But, just as you know, we have also set the link expiry as well. So that way, there's 30 days. If vendor receives an email, and if let's just say there is no attachment or W9 uploaded within 30 days, the link's gonna expire. Actually, let me try here in my live module. Hopefully I have something here. Okay, all right, I have it. Now, in order for you to send out an email, there has to be an email existing with the vendor name. And now you can send it here that, hey, I want to send an email. I just got the email. Let me open it up. So this is how it's going to look like. It's a pretty straightforward thing where it says, hey, vendor, we kind of this accounting team, and they can upload it. The W9 that they've uploaded will, so let's just say as a vendor, when they upload any W9, it will also get attached to that vendor directly into your QuickBooks file as well. So yeah, so that's now possible to directly request W9 from your vendor. All right. So that's that. The second thing that we have done was the first name and last name. So the way it's going to work is that whenever there is a first name and last name in your QuickBooks file, it's going to show up here. And again, like some of our customers requested, I think in case of individuals, sometimes when the vendor name itself is blank in QuickBooks, it's not going to show it here, right? So that's why in case if it's an individual, it will then also put it the first name and last name here. So that was a small improvement that we have done it. The created date filter. So this new column that we have also added. So in case if you then wanted to specifically filter, let me actually show you here. So in this case, let's just say if you then specifically wanted to look at the vendors, so you have kind of all this filter. So the way you can use this is that when you put your mouse on this column, there is 3 horizontal lines, and when you click on that, you have different filters. So you could say, hey, show me all the new vendors that are just added in the month of September. Or so you can basically use any of these parameters, and then you can apply a specific date range, and then you can filter your list accordingly. So again, this was something that you guys requested, so that's done now. All right, the third thing is the credit card account in the source account. So okay, so here is the thing. So with the config, previously we were not at all pulling any transactions from the credit card, but there was a feedback where you guys, one of you guys said where, hey, I think in case of a specific case of DV, I mean, there was some unclear guidelines. So like it was still required to at least pull up the transactions from the credit card. So again, you guys can decide whether you want to see it or not. Previously, this option was not at all available. Now, in case if you guys still wanted to look at your credit card transactions here, you can all you can do, you can just simply click on config, and then you can just untick it, and it will then start pulling the transactions from the credit card. Okay, so that's done. The deposit previously the amount. So let's just say the total spend amount was 1919 here. Previously, this was not including any sort of refund kind of transaction. So in case if there was a deposit transaction for this vendor, it wasn't including it, but now it does that. So that's again a small update that we have done it. Um, then we have also introduced a bulk panel. So the way it's gonna work is that, I mean, right now I only have two vendors here, but imagine you have 30, 40, 50 vendors. You can now select this one and then this one. So with the bulk panel, you can actually do things like this, that, hey, all this vendor should go to this particular form, right? You can do that. There's a status column that we have it here. There's a status column. You can also have that, hey, all these vendors are good to go, ready for filing. You can apply it, and you can also take bulk action accordingly, right? So that's also possible now. Okay, and then we have also introduced a not sure option, right? So let me actually talk about that. So previously, uh, there was only option for like a yes or not sure kind of it, right? So there wasn't an easy way to get rid. There wasn't, in fact, a way at all to tell Xenett that, hey, this particular vendor is not eligible at all, right? So what we did, we now have three options. Like one is a blank, which is more like a not sure. The second is yes, and the third is no, right? So imagine you have 50 vendors here, and then out of those 50 vendors, there are some vendors which are eligible, so fine, you just say yes. Some vendors not eligible at all, so you just say no. Now when you click on no, this vendor will be hidden from here, and once the vendor is set as ineligible, even for the next year it will not show up, right? So previously a lot of you have been using this status for this column, I mean status column for this to track it like eligible, but this status column is for this year, right? So next year it's gonna be reset, right? So now here is what you could do. You don't need to use this status column to track whether the vendor is eligible or not. In fact, you just use this 1099 applicable column where you just say either it's yes, no, or not sure, right? So that's how you can use this. So again, this was something have came from some of our customers, and that's how we kind of thought that it was a good suggestion. So we also updated that as well. All right. So that's that. And the last thing that we did was the missing info filter. Um, so let's just say if you have 50 such vendors that are eligible, but out of those 50 such vendors, you only want to see the vendors that have a missing information, right? So we've introduced this filter here. It says missing information. Again, it's not a good example because it's just one of them. But imagine if there were hundreds of them. When you click on missing info, it will show you those 10, 20 vendors that have some sort of missing information, so you can quickly check them, right? So these were all the different improvements and updates that we have done with the 1099. There are still few of them in the pipeline. So what's going to happen is that we kind of introducing a new status here at the top, like for the year itself, like, hey, whether for this particular client for 2023, the status is all good, or let's just say still waiting, or any like that status will be customizable. So you guys can decide whatever status that you would like to see. The purpose of having the status here at the top level, like meaning at the module level, is because we also plan to have a one view at the top. So imagine if you have your 50, 100 clients on one screen, and then you quickly wanted to see the status for all of your clients on one single page, you will be able to do that. So in this coming sprint, we kind of introducing a 1099 dashboard, where along with the client name, the 1099 status, there will be some more information. So that gives you a very high level idea as to where things are in terms of 1099 without you having to go to every single client and then finding out, right? So that's 1099 dashboard is in process. We also have some other improvements here and there. Yeah, but I think the goal is that in this next 2 weeks, we should be quite done with everything around 1099, right? So that's a plan. I mean, so that way you guys kind of have everything running smoothly for the season. So that's that with 1099. Along with that, we are already in process of revamping our entire reporting module. So we kind of done a good progress. Again, this is not something available to you guys at this point. We expect to roll out the first phase by end of October or probably early November. So the plan is that the entire reporting module where you it's going to be interactive reporting that you can also share with your client. Your client can drill down at the transaction level. Your client can ask you questions back to you. So no need for you to send the PDF and then your client has to download the PDF and then I mean obviously they'll be able to download the PDF and all of it, but it's going to be interactive reporting. So again, it's going to be the major revamp of the whole reporting module, right? And along with that, there'll be also a lot of new reports that will be added, including profit and loss, actual versus budget, the trial balance, unpaid bills. There are tons of reports, new reports that will be adding it. And again, you guys will have customization where you decide what reports that you would like to set for your clients, and you can kind of design your reporting package accordingly, right? So that's a new reporting module that is coming on your way, right? Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Let me just quickly look at the chat. All right. Does it send them a blank W9 to fill in? Not really, Lisa, right now. Uh, I mean, right now we assume that they already have it, the W9, and they just simply have to upload it. But yes, that was something that we are also considering where they have a form they can fill in and it will automatically create the W9 for them. So that's like a something that we are considering, right? All right, so that's that. Let me look at, is it possible to batch update vendors or the review? I want to change the name applicable form, not sure to know most of the vendors. Yeah, let me just see. I think, okay, so the way it is set right now, so I'm addressing the question from Mike. Right now, it is only allowing you to select the form, but not really like other way around. Like you, there is no way right now to keep it no, but I think I kind of like that suggestion, so I'm also going to include that. So along with, so it's like when you select the form, that will automatically select the yes, and then then it will also assign this particular form. But right now there is nothing for not sure or no. So again, I kind of gonna take care of that. So that's that. Could we include a link to blank W9 in the message to the vendor? So Rani, yes, you could do that. The easiest way to do that is that you might just put a URL here. So in your email template, whenever you are kind of doing it here, you just say, here is the copy of W9, W9 form, and then all you can do is just select it. You the only thing you'll not be able to do is upload the W9 form itself. However, you can just put a link here of your Google Drive or whatever that W9 form is, save it. So when your vendor receives that email, your vendor can automatically, your vendor can download it. Okay. So yeah, to clarify, Lisa, it does not do any sort of filing for you. It only facilitates. Okay. What I mean by that is that right from finding the vendors and figuring out the information, missing information, and the total spend amount, and it just helps you kind of do your 1099 processing efficient. It does not do any filing, it does not print any forms as such, right? So imagine you have all of your vendors. It helps you organize your vendors, find out who is eligible, who is not. It helps you find out. It helps you gather W9 from your client, from your vendor. Whatever information that you write here, it also goes back and sync with your QuickBooks file and zero file. Once it's ready, you can export it into Excel, and along with that, you can also export it to Track 1099 and Text 1099 Excel format. So it just helps you have the Excel export, which you can then use to any of the third-party app that you may be using it, and then you can then use the print 1099. So again, the immediate plan, I mean, right now we do not, I mean, we do not have any immediate plan to have this kind of feature where you can do the filing and print the forms. But who knows, in the future, we may consider that as well. So right now, you can use this to organize the information, to track the missing information, to collect the W9s, but you will not be able to any sort of filing, right? So that's that. All right, looks like I have addressed all the questions. Feel free, guys. I mean, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave in the chat, or I can also see. Let me just see if I can. I have also allowed mics for you guys. So in case if you wanted to unmute and ask any questions, all yours. Yeah, I see something in Q&A. Let me see if there's anything in the Q&A. Does it? Okay. I think Lisa, you already put it in the chat, so we're good. Yep. Lisa, certainly, I'll be happy to walk you. In fact, I have intentionally hold off on. I'm kind of in a process of putting together a detailed tutorial about 1099. It's just that I was waiting to, because we still have to make some more changes. I thought would rather wait for a week or two, and then once all of those features are out, I'll then record a comprehensive video and then we'll share with all of you guys. But meanwhile, feel free. We'll be happy to walk you through the entire process as such. So it shouldn't be a problem. Not so Carrie, that's pretty much it. That's all the changes that we have it. I mean, so that is it. So I mean, if you have any other, if you don't have any other questions, I mean, you're good. So all right. So yes, you'll be sending the recording as well. Is there a way to connect Xenett? Not right now, Dolly, but yes, I mean, there is a plan to also introduce integration with this 1099 software. But for this 1099 season, I think we may not have that much time to work on the integration. But yes, see, this is just I mean, the first phase that we have just rolled out 1099. But I'm pretty sure with all of your guys' feedback, this is only going to evolve. So yeah. And as we are making all of these changes right now with 1099, if you guys have any suggestions, requests, please share with us. So our goal is to kind of take care of as much as we can. So, all right, looks like we are all good. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining in. I hope you guys found it helpful. Again, a lot more exciting stuff are on your way. We just ask for your patience. Until then, thank you very much, guys, and talk soon. Bye bye. Take care.